Hello and welcome back, all you incredible car guys and car gals and solutionaries in the industry. This brew has been brought to you by our friends and partners at 321 Ignition, Dealership Toolkit, VinQ, Think Accurately, M1 Data and Analytics, and Don Brady Consulting. Let's get ready for an incredible five-liner with an incredible solutionary. Let's brew! What's going on, car guys and car gals? This is Lou Ramirez, the car guy.
And this is Frelin Ars, the subprime hero.
And we are brewing solutions on the Car Guy Coffee podcast tonight with a special, very special guest.
It's a very special brew.
In the cafe, everybody. And we are making sure that you are brewing with the best. So do us a favor. Tag a car guy.
You know you need to.
Tag a car gal.
You better.
And share.
Sharing is caring, folks.
There is a very serious solutionary that's about to grace.
About to get for real in here, folks.
And we're going to, again, need somebody to get in here with them. So if you like people, tell them to get in here. It's
going to be a lot of fun.
If you have enemies, tell them to get in here. Let's have a cup of coffee.
Yeah.
Let's have a conversation.
Let's make up.
Let's have a good time. Fred, I know that we got a great message, but we got some great people that are helping make sure that this message gets out there.
Man, we do. We're very fortunate. We have just a handful of people that are just amazing, and they're doing some amazing stuff out there in this world, not just for the car business, but for the whole world. They do things not just when it comes to their product that they're selling or anything like that. They're also out helping their communities. They're out there trying to share and get people involved. It's the biggest thing that we can all do. If we can all get together and rise up and make a difference, even if it's just 1% every single day, it can really impact people. It can really impact your family. It can impact other people's families, their friends, and it just keeps growing. And if you just start with yourself. So, man, and these people that we're talking about, they do it extremely well.
So, again, you got to do us this quick favor. Remember what it is that we're doing here today. What are we doing? We're brewing solutions.
Every day.
All day, every day. We're trying to find a way to upshift and uplift. So, do what it is that you do. Go ahead and take a coffee cup emoji, put it inside of the comment box. Let's get ready to brew some solutions with a true solutionary. There are more messages from our sponsors to come as we keep the chat going. But, man, I can't tell you how excited I am to get her into this cafe talking about what's going on. The coach to help you be contagiously confident in all that you do.
Love it.
Here she is, the one, the only Miss Danelle Delgado.
Hey.
I love it. We start with dancing and music. I'm in.
Always.
I like this.
That's what it tastes like.
That's how we start and we finish.
Sip Car Guy coffee. It tastes just like the sound.
I love it. Cheers.
Cheers to you also.
Cheers, everybody. Go ahead and throw that coffee cup emoji in there.
Wow.
Thank you. We're so excited to have you in here.
We are.
Sitting inside of a hot ride, doing it like a true car gal. That's what I'm talking about.
I'm telling you. She's doing it for the family. She's at her son's basketball game right now, folks. Amazing. It's so great what she does. She involves always.
Wow.
I love it. Thank you, guys.
Thank you so much. Everybody, throw her a hand wave, throw her a hello, tell her that you love her. You know who it is that's inside of this solutionary center. It's DT up in the building, in the place to be. Man, guys, okay, I'm going to get too excited here. But guys, gals, we have somebody in here that has dedicated her life to seeing people live out their dreams. And the dreamer inside of me is just coming alive, knowing that she's jumping in the room with us to brew some solutions. And I'm just so pumped up. Welcome to the cafe.
I love being here. I love it. You guys are doing so much to help people. There's no place I'd rather be. Let's do it.
Oh, wow. That means so much. Wow. That means so much to us to have you here. We have a lot of amazing people watching right now. There's going to be messages that pop up here and there. If we acknowledge, we will try our best to acknowledge each one of these. If not, I'm going to try to pop you up there. We do appreciate you all for being here tonight, checking us out with Danelle. Man, this is going to be so much fun. I know Lou and I, we've been anticipating this ever since we've had it put on the schedule. But even before that, I remember when I first started watching you and we were both starting the show, we'd sit there and we'd see what you were doing. And we're like, one day we're going to have her on the show. And what's so crazy is here you are. So
my word, what an honor. Goodness sakes. Let's hope I do a good job. It's a lot of pressure.
No pressure at all. Just have fun, and that's all we want to do. The thing that we think the one thing that makes us different, I think, is we have a lot more fun than most people during our show because that's what we do. That's why him and I came together and made this show, because we have a lot of fun together. So we want to make sure everybody has that same experience. So we appreciate this so much.
That's it. You guys are my kind of people already. Music, dancing, fun. I always tell people your best ideas come out to play, not to work. You got to have more fun with your life, man.
Folks,
people you can't stress your way to success. It just doesn't work that way. So, we got to just have some fun. Like, if you don't love your life, if you don't love the hard work, if you don't love the challenges, think how boring life would be if you didn't have to dig to a greater level. Everybody would be equal. Everybody would be on the same playing field. I think, I'm like, man, let's grow and let's bring everybody we can. Let's put them all on my boat that has music and dancing and coffee and solutions and all the things that we love.
She is on it. Oh, your words, you somehow, I hope I do good. My goodness, you just dropped it. You could drop the mic right now and leave the show and everyone's going to be happy. You just did it. We appreciate that. And the way you brought that energy is exactly the reason why we knew that one day we would have you on the show. It's the same frequency we're on. We're all about that what you're talking about, everyone coming on your boat and having it's so much fun to be at the top with a lot of people, not by yourself. No one wants to be at the top by themselves. It's boring. You want to bring everybody up and everybody reaching up, pulling each other up to have a great old time. And that's what is happening. And you're doing that with such class and people love it. They're gravitating towards it. And it's because of that energy that you put out. And it's all so sincere. And that's the craziest part. You're like, I watch you and I know that we all have our moments, but do you? That's my question,
If my kids are in the car, they'll let you know. They give me some warnings once in a while, like, are you choosing joy right now, Mom?
Right.
And I'm like, whoa! But I think when you have so many challenges in life and downturns in life and opportunities to choose one way or the other, before I obviously have chosen some moments where I didn't choose my best self and I chose some of those challenges. And you get to the end of those, even like crying and complaining or calling your best friend when it's hard just to vent, like all of those activities do nothing but multiply your problems and the problems for other people. So when you lose that many times in a row, you actually learn what the alternative is. And the alternative is, let's just become solution focused. Every time there's a challenge, write down 3 ways you could solve it. You call a mentor or somebody higher than you, right? I tell people you always throw up, not down. So you throw up on people who are smarter than you and you go, here's my 3 solutions. Which do you think is the best? Or do you have a 4th? I'd love your input. And when you do that, you see how much smaller time you actually have a negative moment. And you go, man, well, crying all night did nothing for me. Like I didn't help anyone. I hurt myself and everybody I brought involved in it, cause I think a lot of people go, oh, you need to get some help. You need therapy. You need all this stuff. I'm like, you don't need to go talk about your problems. You need to go talk about solutions with people who will fast forward you to success. And so I just had a lot of great friends who had 0 complaining in their language and I just picked it up. So, I was just in Maui, lost my luggage for 5 days, had no luggage, barely got there because of the storm in Colorado. We were laughing the whole way there. Like, this is hilarious, and people would most of the time be complaining and ruin their whole vacation. And I'm like, we get to be on vacation. Right. Are you kidding me?
Gratitude.
But you get punched in the face enough times, you spend enough time on the ground, you're like, man, I don't really like the ground. I actually like the sky.
Come on.
So, yeah.
Exactly what it takes to help us transition the show like we practiced this before. Right? And we did not, car guys and car gals. This is always a live show that we just repurpose for the rest of you to enjoy in a different time. She doesn't know that we were going to use that to fly together as we figure out that we apply 3 F's to keep growing.
3 of them.
You're challenging people on a consistent basis to seek deeper and seek further and seek higher and to seek solutions based on what they're seeing. It's not about what
Yes.
it is. You're the one looking at it, so maybe you're the one that's supposed to bring the solution to it, right? If you're in that moment, you're probably the light that's needed in the dark space, right? And that is something that you trumpet, and why we just so are thankful that we're connecting together. But our method connects with so many other solutionaries, and we apply 3 F's, and that's to forgive, wipe off the weight of unforgiveness, whether it's someone else or yourself. Wipe that off. Get focused on what you can do and who it is that you do it for, right? Who it is that you're fighting for, who it is that's important to you, who it is that you're helping. Focus, keying in on that. And then once your gaze is set to incredible heights that you can barely even see and imagine, you fly. You use the faith to overcome every bit of fear, fly out. And once you're up there, well, you just keep growing, right? And so, Danelle Delgado.
I love
it's crazy.
This is history.
I love this. Look at the solutions you give. Okay, right there. Forgive, focus, fly. Okay, we're like meant to be friends no matter what. So this is exciting because that's my life. But also you have to look at, okay, so the alternative is what? Hate, resentment, negativity. Okay, no focus means no target. So failing all the time, never progressing, underachieving. That's the most painful thing in life.
Yes.
And the opposite of flying, right, is sinking, dying. And so if you look at that, if you don't do all three, right, none of the alternatives are attractive. Nothing. Like, imagine trying to run with anchors attached to your leg. That's what unforgiveness is. Right? It does nothing. You can never fly if you hold on to the stuff people do, man. And you'll never be forgiven if you don't know how to do it for everybody. So I love this, guys. This is awesome. Imagine how much further people would be in their business, their life, their relationships, if these were their 3 core values. Pretty cool.
Wow. Replay. Seriously, you were touching us, and more than you know, you're really making me want to just like stand up and not even sit down anymore. I just want to, you're speaking our language, and it's beautiful because you put it in a very similar way we put it, but in your own words, it's beautiful. So it's exactly right. It's people want to hear this truth. Yeah, and it's an important thing. So we're so excited to have you do this with us. Yes. I know Lou's excited.
Because it also, you see how I know that it's from heaven? Is because it's connected to a dance. Okay.
There you go.
Albert Einstein said that dancers are the athletes of heaven. Boom. Or God's athletes. What? Okay. So it comes with a dance. So you wipe it off, you then focus, and then you fly, and then you keep growing. So join us as we do it together. On 3, Danelle Delgado in the cafe. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Forgive. Focus. Fly. And keep growing. Keep growing. Keep growing. Yeah, get it. Oh, that's where we cue music usually. There we go. And we keep it rocking. So just understand that one of our dreams, and I'm pretty sure that it's something that we've seen because it will happen, is that one day we're going to get the chance to actually get to do that on a stage and hand a microphone over to you, letting you do your thing, rock out while we get done hyping up the entire room to get ready for you. We'll be your hype man. We're in. Let's go. You know what I mean? But we want to do that for so many voices. You know what I mean? And I told my wife that the first time that I saw or when we were watching a video of you, and said that we're going to do that one day. Me and Fred, we're going to do that for people like her and others. They're already doing great things. We're going to hand them the microphone and, just get the room primered for them. You know what I mean?
I love it. I love it. And good energy long enough brings us all together, right? I wasn't supposed to be on the video that Fred was on the other day with Glenn. Yeah. And he was like, hey, she'll do it. And he looks at me and I was like, I'll do it. What am I doing?
That was awesome. That was amazing. And once again, I am so thankful for Glenn Lundy for setting that up. We were in our mastermind for the elite and she was there and I was like, whoa, Danelle's here. So, we all get a chance to talk and, I didn't even actually come up. He saw me dancing because I'm always dancing. You can ask Glenn. I'm always on there. I'm always doing the little background stuff when he does stuff. And he pointed out and he goes, he brought up, he goes, oh, Fred's great. He's got a podcast too. you need to go on his podcast. And you're like, okay, yeah, I'll do it. And I was like, thank you, Glenn.
See, now I'm going to get busted because I've been turning them down like crazy because I've been so busy. And I was like, I'll do some in April. So don't tell. Oh, wait. It's live.
It's okay.
Don't worry. Nobody knows.
Nobody knows.
I'm kidding. No, it's it's the right thing. Where God leads, I go. So
That's
here
right.
we are.
Yeah, I do feel like all things happen for a reason, and I'm so happy to be here right now, and I'm always in the present, and I really appreciate the present because that's all we have, and I really try to live that way, and to have you here today is great, and these 5 questions we're going to ask you are a lot of fun. My favorite question is the first one, and the reason why it's a big deal to me is I watched and I saw Simon Sinek talk about the why. It all starts with the why. And when I saw that, it's not something it's not new, but the way he brought it and talked about it and really just brought light to it made me think about it deeper than I ever did. And it's so true. I have that. And that's the reason why I've been successful, because I've always had a why somewhere. I always did. Yeah. Whether it was my family, whether it was the purpose that I love to be the best at whatever I do, or if it was to be able to help people in my community, or if it was to help show my son that, by doing hard work, this is what happens, that type of stuff, whatever. I always had that in me. For you, though, I have to ask you, your why. What is your purpose? What makes you get up every day to be Miss Danelle Delgado?
Yeah, I mean, so it's kind of it's a catch-22. I think, I could give you the simple answers, like I had 3 kids to provide for and nobody to help. I think about those things, but it was really, and always since the beginning, to my core, it was the answer to a prayer. It's kind of not the why, it's the why not. Why can I not sit still? Why can I not serve? Why can I not sleep like everybody else? Why can I not rest? And for me, it was a calling on my life that I always wanted to matter. I became addicted to my impact out of anything. And, it was, I have 3 kids watching. It's not about them. It's about them watching me live my impact so that they will make theirs, right? Mm-hmm. You can't, and so really it all circles around who was going to lose if I didn't win. And I knew that I could help people. Like I tell people all the time, I go, if you don't have a reason why, or you can't find it, go make a difference. Go be of service. Because when you can help one person, you have to help one person in your entire life. You'll never look at life the same, and you can't go backwards. Like knowing what I know and what I can help people do, how could I ever sleep in? It's not a calling, like it's a summons. It's a drawing me to the next step. Like there's no way I could. It's like sitting and watching someone homeless have nothing to eat and feeling nothing towards them. None of us feel nothing. All of us feel something. Some people have other ideas. Some people help. Some people go bring food. Some people give money. So my kids do that. They grab out of their lunch boxes and hand out the windows. Like I didn't teach that. Yes, we serve. Yes, we help. But I think it's the why not, right? It's the what are you going to be, and what are you going to, what legacy are you going to live? What's the thing if you don't do something exceptional? All of us are drawn to ascend. You will be in pain to underachieve your whole life. Like that's the alternative. And for me, it was painful to be a disappointment, and I was committed to matter.
My goodness.
Okay.
You really hit me. That hit my heart. And I feel that so much. I really do feel that. I honestly, up till about a year and a half ago, I didn't realize how much I was underachieving, and I thought I was successful. I had a good job, making good money, doing well. Wife and son are happy pretty much, right? I was doing what I thought was the best I could do for them too, as being a father and a husband. And, of course I love them. I love them with all my heart. But I feel like because I'm starting to understand that I was underachieving, which is huge. I mean, those words and knowing that when you're underachieving, and which most people do by far, and they're just comfortable, and they just stay that way. And I did that for a long time, but I always thought because I would compare myself to other people. Right. And I'm like, I'm doing better than my brother. I'm doing better than my sister, whatever, right? I was thinking about those things instead of being like, what about myself? How can I be the best version of me? And what do I really have to offer? I have so much to give. And so underachieving is something I really am trying to overcome big time right now. And I think that I think people who know me know that I'm really working extremely hard. I'm working, trying to not underachieve.
Right.
But I think that having people like you talk about that and say it, it's just like, it really brings it to the forefront for me to be able to understand that even more. Like, oh man, I really was doing that. That's why I was so depressed for a little while. That's why I wasn't feeling like I was moving. I wasn't growing anymore. So
we're going to have some guests pop in. Sorry.
Oh, awesome.
They're getting in the car. How'd it go?
Awesome.
Winners, huh? Okay.
55
to 15, stud. I love it.
What?
They're cheering for you.
That's wow. Congratulations on that. That's an amazing game.
They said congratulations. Okay, we're good. We can keep going. They'll roll. They're used to it.
This is so awesome.
I love
we
it, though.
get the whole family.
That's right.
Oh my goodness. Car guys, car gals. We're amongst the special ones. I got to say, I got to sip to this. This is incredible that we get the chance to continue brewing solutions, because really we want to make sure that we are making a connection with people that are able to keep the foundations of their life solid. And that is something that this incredible solutionary makes sure to do. We've championed this message so much on the side of, if you're going to build anything, you have to have a solid foundation. We've got metaphor crazy on the side of trying to make sure that everybody understood, build your foundation, and then you can build upon it. And
fluid fundamentals.
Always.
We had all kinds of terms.
With the solid, right, laid down fundamentals, along with the foundation that sets the tone for everything that you're going to build. So, of course, making sure that your spiritual IQ is in line. Know that you are created for things. You've been given so much time and so much resource, and you have to understand that you have to honor that. We all have to honor that and do the best that we can with it. I want the Father to look at me and say, well done, my good and faithful servant. You've been faithful with what I've given you to use. Once I understood how to use it, I got to put it to work. And that's our responsibility. And you do that as a solutionary, and you find a way to keep building people up by helping make sure that they lay a core foundation by setting the right cornerstone in place and helping to build from there. Everything else builds from there. And you do that in everything that you do, but it's beyond the business. That's why we're hanging out with your kids in the car, right? Because we're beyond the business. This is legacy. Right. This is who we are.
That is.
You know what I mean? We're not about
the
business and the dollars and the cents and the moving of the metal. We're about the people, right? We're having a cup of coffee and a conversation so that nobody takes this too serious, right?
I just like how you say cup of coffee. It's very, very Queens. And I like it.
Well, I appreciate that. That's again, we said earlier, this has connected me to a lot of people that, maybe sounded like my language. The Northerners. It's exciting to have so many people, talk like me that we've connected to on the podcast. Because in Kentucky, I don't get that so much. It gets
we don't.
Gets a little
like that around
here. It's a
y'all.
little different. But I love
you guys are amazing. I really do, though. Like, for what you're saying, I think growing up, my family made me a little afraid. Like, if I don't use my gifts, God would take them away. And I think that was just kind of a generational raising, right? And that kind of scared me, right? I think fear of loss is what a lot of salespeople use. And I've just learned that the opposite of that is also true, and that it's actually, I don't know if that's true or not. Like, I mean, I think anybody who doesn't use their gifts, you get out of practice and they don't mature. However, I also believe that, right, to whom much is given, much is required. And the more you use them, the more God multiplies them. And I've just watched, when I use them, I have watched him multiply and clear paths where there were giant mountains, and, just do things that are, everyday miracles. And I think as long as you're, it's like Moses, he had to step in before it parted, right? I don't want to get too preachy here, but let me just tell you, if you're stepping and you're building your foundation and you are building a house that God can trust, man, watch him make it a sky rise, you know, and watch him bring people to live in it with you and those kinds of things. And it starts with loving who he gave you, right? It starts with leaning into, I love this about me. I think so many people are like comparing, right? They don't love what they were given, or they wish they looked different, or they wish they whatever. I remember when I first started speaking, a lot of people had things to say to me that were very high up about my looks and how I didn't quite fit in with some of them. And, you know, I wasn't your typical whatever. And I was like, what do you mean my typical whatever? My brain's, I thought you were paying me for my brain. What are we talking about here? But it's okay. You know, so I just think like, if you lean in, I just always leaned into, he gave me more than enough for more than is ever needed for the time such as this. This is the time. This is the place. I am the person. What can I do? And there's no human who can do nothing. Like, everybody can do something. And so if we just start doing the somethings, like if you see something you could fix it. Then you're not underachieving. You're telling yourself the truth. If you can help someone, help them. Sometimes you get paid, sometimes you don't. If you can, it's just, you know, in the world out there where everybody's telling you say no to more things, I'm saying say yes to everything. I just say yes. Yes. I'll figure it out. Right? I'll do it in a parking lot of a middle school, like whatever, you know? And I mean, you can't save lives with no.
Come on. God.
You know?
I mean, that's a heart that's wanting to do good unto every good work. You're wanting to be able to have something for every good work. And I want that to be the lifestyle I live. That's what ultimately our goals should be in life, is to be able to say yes to anybody that has need, anybody that can tap me as a resource. If I can fix a problem with a check, that should be an easy problem to fix, right?
Yeah.
The core relationships of people, letting people understand that they're valued, letting people understand that they're treasured, letting people understand that they matter is something that you are a master of. And that is what gets people to unlock that part inside of them that helps them to see how wonderfully made they were. Yes. And that is a transition that takes many different levels of not just experience, but submission too, right? There's a lot of truths we have to eat. There's a lot of struggles that we have to understand may have been self-inflicted or were not things that we can take on. That's why it's so important to forgive, right? Wipe that stuff off, get moving in the right direction. And so what you do is something that transitioned into and permeated into the auto industry. You started connecting with some great people that were doing some great, I mean, like record-breaking, amazing things in the auto industry. But you also were able to poke a place inside of them that helped them understand there is a bigger light than you can ever dream of, and that your message matters. And that's something that, of course, drew us more and more to you. And, of course, to anybody that you pour into. I'm thankful for all of our friends that we can shout out, you know, that we know you. But now we get the chance to share this cup of coffee and conversation, right? And be able to ask, why is it of you coming into the auto industry? Why do you think it's so important that people in this business understand that people have to matter?
Yeah.
They matter, not just their money. Them, they matter.
Right.
Why is it so important that that's how we build our relationships? Because people are losing relationships, I believe, in dealers because they're losing people, and people connect to people. So if you don't have customers coming back to the same guy, well, then they're your customers, right?
Yeah.
And this high turnover rate wasn't led in love; it was led in fear. And you're turning that tide, you know, per se, or you're turning the boat. And so, why is it so important? Again, I'm back to asking the question again, right? I'm just so.
No, I love this. Well, you know, it's funny because the auto world was one that I was a little afraid of. You know, Glenn, Anthony, a bunch of them were like, the car world needs you. The auto guys need you. And just that auto guys is what scared me, right? Is that like I've gone in to buy a car and been afraid and walked out and been like, I don't know what I did. I have no idea what any of that means. And so I was nervous going in, and I didn't, you know, I thought they were all cutthroat and sharks and those kinds of things. And as soon as I got in, I said, I saw people who were just like me. A lot of them came from broken backgrounds or beat up backgrounds. And so they had been built tough, right? They had different exteriors, and they were the kindest humans that I have ever met. They had my back and loyalty like I had. And I was like, oh my gosh, we're cut from the same cloth. And the thing is in any business, you are only as successful as your people skills, as your skills to be authentic and true and connect. And, all of these kinds of things. Yes, there's good and bad in all industries, but for some reason, this cohort of auto humans actually care about moving lives forward. They actually care about ascension and records, and they want to see their name on the placards in the walls. Like, they want to be respected. And I'm like, oh my gosh, that's me. That's me. All I want is to impress myself and help other people. Right? And so it was this driven human connection. What happened though is, right? So all of our experiences lead into this, and they were trained by different kinds of people who were teaching them cutthroat and this. And I was like, you know what happens? You guys want to scale? Let me just show you how to tap into your best self, because your best self is what they want. They don't want a regurgitated version of what somebody taught you. They want you, all of you, right? All that you are is all that is required. And so when I came in first as a female, and my books, I Choose Joy, right? They're like, oh great, who's the fluffy female they're bringing in who's talking about joy and love and light and is laughing all the time? And when I stepped in there and we started training, they were like, whoa, this is the Velvet Hammer. This is not light and fluffy. This is actually hardcore work. And I also let them teach me, right? They're very into health and workouts and, taking care of themselves. And I let them change me so I could be open to change them. And I teach from where I'm growing and what I'm learning. And as I got obliterated on social media, they had my back, and I shared with them what actually happened and how to be prepared for how to handle people. And I got to show them love and forgiveness and grace at a level that most are embarrassed by. And, it just turned into this beautiful thing that broken people are the greatest humans. And I'm not saying everybody's broken, nor that that's a bad thing. We all broken. Okay. We've all been bent and beat up, and we have hurt hearts, and all of our experiences have made us who are. But what I'm saying is when you come together and you care for how you affect others, you build something that people can't take away from you. And that is influence. And influence can only be built. It cannot be manufactured. It cannot be falsified. And so the stronger the people we build in the auto world, the stronger people will leave and love the auto world. So you got to change it from the inside out.
Come on.
My 2 cents.
Come on. Everybody, put your hands together if you're not driving.